Amen. I bless God for the man that God has chosen for this hour. Say what you want about Mr. Lincoln Lee. He has taken the bull by the horn to fight for this nation. He's wrestling with giants. And listen here, we gonna win. We are going to win. I thank God for the lioness that is in the Charlotte Green. Did you guys see that video when I walking down south? I said, if the police don't look like they were Rasta, they look like they were her bodyguards. That's what it looked like to me. And I thank God, amen, for touching the hearts of the people around this nation. Listen, they need so much powers. When you see this election call, they are having enough. They are having enough in the full store. So listen, get yours, amen, just to put on the side, not for you to use, but you might have to lend a few people something to put on. But without further delay, we have a long way to go. And these people that we are going to talk, these are people that are determined to stand in this nation for what is right. They are determined to fight for Abaco. They are determined to fight for this nation and all that we're going through. But we were supposed to do this on paper. But give me a minute. I didn't my glasses or anything. In the meanwhile, let's say hello to Green Turkey. If they are watching, we want to say hello to North Island Abaco. Somebody say, clean sleep. We want to call first. No, we're going to sing our national anthem. Let's start one more time. Let's sing our national anthem. I'm not a singer. So somebody please raise that. To the rising sun. March on to glory, your bright banner waving high. Sing out the world, march the banner, your wearing. Fresh to excel, through love and unity, pressing onward, march together to a common loftier goal. Steady onward, no weather, eyes are wide and stretched to control. Lift up your head to the rising sun. Till the road you trod leads unto your light. My soul, beautiful, beautiful. Now, I just want to remind, I don't want the persons that are going to speak tonight, I don't want you to get too excited. Okay? You got a long way to go, you got a short time to get there. But we want to make space for you tonight to encourage and to say your part, your 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay? So if you go beyond 5 minutes, Joe or somebody that has the reins will begin to play some music. Okay? Our first person that will come that is going to speak for 5 minutes is our ratified candidate for Golden Gates. Amen. In the person of the lioness. Hallelujah. Minister, woman of God, educator, shine. Hallelujah. Make some noise.
Boy, I don't know how to give a minister 5 minutes. That's the type. So, nonetheless, I'm a trained woman, so I understand 5 minutes. Hello, Abaco. Somebody give it up. Let's give it up, Abaco. Look at I can be quick. I can let you all share my 5 minutes off, but there's much that needs to be said. First and foremost, I'm an educator by profession, but beyond all that, I'm a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I am not ashamed of the gospel. I'm not ashamed that that gospel is the power of God of salvation. Let me make it clear to the Bahamas and the Bahamian people in particular, my Christian brothers and sisters. It is written, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Now my question to you is, are the Bahamian people rejoicing? Throughout the Bahamas, we have heard about people committing suicide, people wanting to give up. There is a sense of hopelessness. Why is that happening? Then you must beg the question, do we really have righteous people in authority? See, this is why the Bahamian people are struggling the way they are. This is not God's will for us. He said, beloved, I bishop of all things that you may say it again, prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. We have had enough PLP. We have had enough FN. Lord is paying us. And to my Golden Gate constituents, don't worry about the commercial running right now, but the main attraction is about to show. We ain't paying. If Miss Agnes Broad play her little games, the only person who has prospered through Golden Gate for the last 50 years for real are the PLP and the FNM. I am a resident, so I can tell you. I still live there. When the bullets fly in, I still have to duck. When the people can't pay their bills, I feel it because I'm there among them. We have had enough Golden Gates. So I know I'm in Abaco just wanting a little chill pill for the men. But let me tell you something, we're coming. And we're not coming to play games with people. We're not bringing any tricks. And we're not bringing any treats. We're bringing to you the natural resources that belong to you. And so let me tell you something. Tell the PLP and them to stay right there playing with the Bahamian people. We have had enough of you. We know you're only coming around now and acting nice because you all will get outvoted again. We're not going to be falling for that game anymore. We're not going to play the games. So let me tell you something. Rise up. God has not given us a spirit of fear. Stop being afraid. I didn't tell him, I said, look here. I know how to live on standby and bread. Stop being afraid of these uncircumcised Philistines threatening your job and your livelihood. I tell somebody that we all get in standby and bread if we must. But we must stand for our nation. Because we've had enough. And so they said 5 minutes, I gotta be obedient. Because I'm a woman, Lord. We had enough here. There's no more homeless. Just step aside. We've had enough of you. Don't come at you no tricks. So, Abaco, I dare to tell you to stand tonight. Christian people, get up and get in position. Stand for righteousness. Stand for holiness. Let God arise. And his enemies scattered. He's coming up of hearing the cries of the Bahamian people who cannot even go to the store and buy a grocery. My God, all this wealth in the nation, and the Bahamian people still struggling. No more. So I'm winding my mind. And I just want to encourage you all to let you know that change ain't coming. Change is here. Boy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for whoever is in Golden Gates. That's like it's not possible now. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Our next speaker
is no stranger to Abaco. She's always doing her live, and okay, if you don't see her face, you know her voice. And that is Miss Lovely Breckley. She's going to come. Yeah.
I don't know with you, but I know that change is here. Life is about the three C's: choice, chance, and change. Yeah. You must take the chance. You must make the choice to take the chance to make the changes.
Yes. You have to do it.
Changes don't come from my emotion. Changes come when we change our mindset. And I don't know about you, but what I've seen happen here in Abaco, I don't know how anybody who in their right mind could stand up and say, I am going to support the PLP or I am going to support the FNF because none of them came to our rescue. None of them came to our rescue. So now they say, now that it's time for election, the great tickers around. Yeah. They're every island taking up some stuff and there's nothing going in the ground. They're great tickers. Yeah. They're here trying to get your vote. So what they do? We're going to build a whole spiller. Oh, we're going to build this. We're going to build it. Not this. I'm tired of the promises. We want action. Yeah. And I'm going to encourage you all. It's time that you stand up. Yeah. See, that's why I know I am on my way out. I'm 68 years young. But I have children. I have grandchildren. And I now have great-grandchildren. And I want them to experience the Bahamas that I've known from a child. What we experiencing now, you've never ever walked this road before. But I can tell you, them demons you see now, you see them no more. Our spiritual leaders who are supposed to be standing up. They're being called to be on the wall. They're being supposed to be the ones to sound your line. But the Bible told me, the Bible called them greedy dumb dogs. Because they only ask for what they can get and they don't care about the rest. But I'm going to encourage you, this fight is not for you. And it's not about me. They talk about Lincoln and I tell them the fight is not about Lincoln. God has chosen him to stand up like he did with Moses. And he said to Moses, you can no longer take the children any further. So now we need a Joshua to come on the scene. So God has raised up the PLP and FNM and done all they want to do and how they want to do it. Now Joshua said the tables over to the promised. And I have this message for Fred, Terry, Ingram, and all the rest. The Bible said this. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yea, pass away, and no, he was not. Yea, I saw him, but he could not be found. Mind the perfect and the upright, for the end of that time is peace. Go to now, you rich man. Weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and your silver is canker, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Your people treasure together for the last days. Don't be greedy. Yes. But this fight is that we take our country back. That's right. We need our country back. And we're going to fight it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Reckley. Always willing to stand up. Abaco will forever be indebted to you. Next, we are going to call. We have t-shirts. Yes. COI t-shirts. I need come, Jim. Come and assist me. She's gonna hold it up. This is my baby. Hold it up. So, the shirts are $12, not expensive. They're there on the table. If you desire a donation of $12, if you desire a t-shirt, you can get one. Okay, you can see Genesis for the t-shirt. Next, we are going to call Miss Charlotte Green. Yes, she's going to come. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our national executives, our Grand Bahama executives who are visiting, to our Abaco executives, to our visitors on Zoom, Morris Island, Hopetown, Great Turtle Key. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the new Bahamas. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, from the time of conception, it has been a journey. Yes. It has been a journey. And we are here. Listen to me. Everybody who is in this room and everybody who's online, we are here for a specific time right now and a purpose. Yeah. We are all here standing in the gap to fight for a country that is slowly being taken away from us. But as far as I can see, that is moving very quickly. Yes, that is moving very quickly. You have to shoot it. Yeah, that is moving very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, election is right around the corner. Yes. Right around the corner. Yes. Last election, they sort of caught us by surprise when they called a snap election. But we want them to know that we are ready. Yeah. Yes. We are coming to take our country back. Do you feel like you are at home? No. Does it feel like home? No. We are being treated like strangers in our own land. And I find it highly disrespectful that the people we put in charge, we put them in charge to make decisions in the best interest of the people. But we see how disrespectful, and that's right, Paula, they are very disrespectful when they make a statement, when they make excuses. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You are here to serve me. My tax-paying dollars is taking care of you. That's right. So I'm going to say this to you. We have a short time. We have many behind us that are supporting. This is a grassroots movement. If you do not know, the Coalition of Independence is a force right now that they aren't ready. They think they are ready to come against, but they aren't ready. But what I need from our people, what I need from our members, what I need from our supporters and our voters, we still have to galvanize. We still have to get the information out. We have to man our polls, because guess what? That's where the fight is going to take place. At those polls. We need volunteers to manage those polls. Our sovereignty, our nation right now, is in the balance. And this country is all we have. This is all we have. This is what I tell people now when we go campaigning. When we campaign in those communities, when you go knocking on that door, no, this coalition, no, come in. When we go campaigning, when we go knocking on doors, and we speak to people, you know what our topic is? You know what this campaign is driven off of? Plans and policies. And it's policies and plans that is going to move our country forward. Our borders are not safe. And a country that does not have safe borders is not a country. Our country is open up to not only illegal immigration, but all sorts of ungodly. Listen, that's right. We have a nation to rebuild, and we have a nation to build even better. A vote for coalition It's a vote for your natural resources. A vote for coalition. It's a vote for your crown land. A vote for coalition. It's a vote for secure borders. It's a vote for benefiting from your country. Yes. Better health care, better than we ever had. That's right. Yes. And I know many of y'all are looking forward to that plan called Stick and Island State Governance. Yes. Yes. That's my favorite plan. That is my favorite plan. And all of you all have a stake in building back this country. Yes. And Abaco. Yes. We have a long way to go. We have a lot to do. Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, we must get together. If you do not have my phone contact, I ask you, I'll leave it out there for you to get it. But we need to come together. We need to build. And we need to go after our country. Because I am going for the jugular. I am going for the jugular. So I want to encourage you because we have many persons standing on the front line. Don't get weary. Hold on until the cavalry arrives. Because there are a lot of people working behind the scenes, but they're just waiting to come out. They are there. Help us on the way. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. And like we said, we have our branch executives here in Abaco. We have the branch executives for the North. And we have the branch executive for the South. So the coalition has already established itself in Abaco. And we're working our way around the rest of the islands. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the new Bahamas like you have never before. Change is
Yes, yes, yes. Fire, fire. Amen. Always excited and ready to go. Let's clap our hands one more time for executive. Our next presenter, 5 minutes, he's going to come and he is going to say a few words. Mr. Nick Michaelis. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming out. We are in some serious times. Obviously, the ones that are listening and following this gathering tonight, you that are here, have opened up the eyes of your soul. You see that we are heading down the wrong direction. We have all been bamboozled. I come to you tonight, I wear a hat with many feathers. I'm proud to be a farmer. Without the farmer, I can't eat. So, I'm asking you to be here tonight. Again, for those who are listening, obviously, you love your country. You love your country? Let me hear you say you love your country. We need to create opportunities for our children to come out of school, to be responsible citizens, and to be nation builders. In this environment, especially over the last 45 years, we have not created that environment.
No, you have it.
That's right. We have a violent environment. We happen to live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. We call ourselves Christian nation, but every day we allow garbage at God's feet every day. Now, we pay taxes. This government, we do not have economic stability. These guys are clueless. And I repeat that, clueless. When you drove here tonight, what kind of roads did you drive on? We all pay our taxes. We all have that tax on our back. Okay? I don't mind paying taxes, but I need some lights on the highway. Every time we drive on that highway, highways throughout our country, we're putting our lives at risk. What kind of education are our children getting? Are our teachers getting paid? They are some of the real heroes. Our nurses,
Yes.
Our nurses, are they getting paid? We're losing our nurses.
Yes.
Why? Why? We have roughly 400,000 Bahamians in our country. We should have the best healthcare. How is the healthcare? How are we maintaining our infrastructure? Think about it. All we do is rent. We own all kinds of buildings, you know. Do we maintain anything? Look at our government clinic. That's depressing. You go there sick, it's depressing to drive up there with the landscaping. It's terrible.
Right.
Look at our airport on either side of Abaco's airport. What type of buildings do you have there?
Amen.
Right? We are wasting and wasting money. I've had enough.
Yes.
I'm a businessman. I'm a farmer first. Without the farmer, you can't eat. Bank of the Bahamas should have been lending farmers and fishermen money. They lend this one, they lend this one 10 million. They lend this one 20 million. Unsecured loans.
Yes.
I'm sick and tired of the curry favor. I'm sick and tired that MPs, permanent secretaries do not disclose their income. We created a VAT without implementing a Freedom of Information Act. Why haven't FNN and the PLP implemented that? I marched for that. Many of you marched for that. What's the excuse? What are they hiding? What are they hiding? I asked our fellow Bahamians, from the southern Bahamas to central Bahamas to the northern Bahamas, is your life today better than it was 25 short years ago? We are going backwards. Our children, our grandchildren. We have a big problem in this country. We have a huge problem. Please, I beg you, all our fellow Bahamians, if you really love our country, open up the eyes of your souls. Open up the eyes of your soul so you can see. We don't have justice. Justice for the rich in this country, different from the poor. We got too many of our young men and women that are in prison that shouldn't be there. We have too many of our young men and women that don't have opportunities to climb that economic ladder. Right? We're suffering. I need every one of y'all. I need every one of y'all to reach out to your neighbor. Reach out to your neighbor. Reach out to your friends, your families. Talk about the issues in this country. Speak the truth. The truth will set you free. None of these people have put food on our table. Farming should be one of our economic pillars. Tourism. What kind of tourism we have? What kind of tourism? We talk about 9 million tourists. What, boating tourists that put a bunch of wear and tear? Let's have the overnight tourism. In the Family Islands, encourage the small mom and pop operations. Our airports are terrible. By the way, when a foreigner comes in this country, I don't care if you're a multimillionaire, I don't care if you're a pauper. What do you bring to the table? First of all, do you speak our language? Because if you can't speak the language, we're going to have miscommunication. And when you have miscommunication, you have confrontation. Are we not killing each other today? Why? Miscommunication. We need to get back to basics. I believe this project will bring us back to basics. I believe this project will create a better healthcare system. Remember, we only have 400,000 people to educate, provide healthcare, a proper infrastructure. Why aren't they doing it? I'm tired of it. I I hope you guys are tired of it. I've been bamboozled long enough. All right? God bless you all. Thank you for all of you for the listening. And these people here can't do the work by themselves. Each of us need to reach out and talk sense. Okay? All right?
Thank you so much. We love your enthusiasm. One more time for him. Moving right along. We want to encourage you. 5 minutes for those of you that will come now. We're going to call the lady that will represent Bamboo Town in the next general election. The lady that's always Miss Marie, that's
Good night. Hello, ladies. Good night. Everybody from Abaco. Good night. Sorry I'm late. I had to do a little steam up every now and then. I feel your pain. I see and I understand what y'all are going through. It was a burden. And when me and Lincoln Green and the team went out, and we saw what the people of Abaco is going through. Enough is enough. Time for a change now. And I want to know how bad you are fighting for this change. How bad? Are we going to allow the FNM to get back the power to finish off what the people started? Enough is enough. Demand. I saw what they did to the Bahamian people in this article. It's a crying shame. And I'm calling out for the people of Abaco. It's time for you all to stand up and fight. And when you all start to fight, we don't come on and Nassau and help you all to fight. And I saw that people that all our land like it belongs to them. And when it comes to our people, we can't get one income. We need to take over some territories now. See, because it's our teams, you know. That's right. But we can't let the foreigners, we can't let the government politicians, we can't let the pastors that take everything from us and our children and our grandchildren. Like I say, and I always say, is that this government come to be a burden to the people. They are increasing every taxes in this country. The food tax, gas tax, and every tax. They be taxing us left, right, and center. But what is the people of Abaco going to do? Are y'all going to allow them to get back into the people's parliament and take advantage of the people of Abaco? I want to send a message to the PLP. We want y'all out of the people's house. Y'all need to pack up your bags and go. Because we want y'all out and we want y'all out now. We cannot take any more of this burden that y'all are putting on the Bahamian people. And what y'all doing to the people in Abaco, to know that they got all that donation and they haven't put one Bahamian in a house. They got millions of dollars. That's right. And no Bahamian in one of these houses. How long? Y'all will be suffering of the hands of the PLP and the FNM. It's time for change now. And enough is enough in this country. And I come here tonight to encourage the Bahamian people. You need to vote for our team. As we can make sure we're going to be accountable to the Bahamian people. We're going to go into the Bahamian people parliament with your agenda on our agenda. It's not going to be about us. It's going to be about the Bahamian people. And what the Bahamian people want in this country. And I'm sick and tired of hearing my people cry out for help. And everything is going on the deaf end. So I come now to tell you, we, the COI, Lincoln Bean, Charlotte Green, and Dr. McIver, we got the plan for the Bahamian people. We're going to war. We're going to ask y'all some questions before we go into the people's house. Y'all know me and Lincoln, we love our papers. We need an agenda for the Bahamian people. This ain't going to be about us, you know. We decided to put down ourselves and represent the Bahamian people. So Abaconians tonight, we are here to come here to make the change. Pleasant good night, my fellow Bahamians.
Yes, change is here. Change is here. I don't know what's going on with the money, but it's missing. And what my grandma used to do, when she found a piece of teeth in the house, she used to take your hand and put it on the edge of the chair, and she used to get something, she used to beat you on that. Ain't none of our grandchildren never been to jail for teething. No. Mine used to put it in the fire. My God. Forward. But listen, we are moving forward. And we are going to do this, like I said earlier, we are taking our country back. We want to leave space now for our deputy leader and the person of Dr. Veronica McGuire. She's going to come and read us.
Before I begin, I noticed that the room is full and we have some people standing. Is there any other chairs that we can get for them? Hey, that's good news. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm going to finish this battle that everybody started. Change ain't coming? Change ain't coming? Listen, I am so happy to be back on Abaco ground. Yes. Now, I have to confess something, and I hope you all forgive me. The last time I was in Abaco was 30 years ago. Wow. I am embarrassed to say that because, I've been to Elutra and Andres and everywhere. But trust me, since COI is going to help fix Abaco, you are going to see a lot more of me. Yes, me. A lot of what I want to say too is that I noticed that everybody here looks healthy. I know you're going through a lot of pain. I've heard y'all say that. And I've seen the pictures of Dorian and what it did to your man. And the fact that all of you are here and you are alive and you are very resilient, let's give you a round of applause. Now, a lot of people ask me, a lot of times, we'll talk, hold on now, what happened? You left us, you went to COI? I say, yes, I did. And the reason why is that, listen, I felt like a ping pong ball or a tennis ball. You ever saw a tennis match? What? Going back and forth. And I was going PLP, FNM. I was one of the voters, swing voters, and I used to be getting hit back and forth. Let me tell you something. I got tired of getting bruised, and I jumped off that Ferris wheel. I jumped off. Let me tell you why. I jumped off because we are going in the wrong direction. So tonight, bear with me. I had to think of 4 things that I want to talk about, because it was about 10 or 12. But I say, pick out the 4 most important things that cause you to switch from the PLP and the FNM and joined COI because we are going in the wrong direction. The first one was poverty. Let me tell you something. I am a data person, so I look at data to make my policies. I'm not just going to talk of thin air. So when I check the data for poverty, in 2001, the poverty was 9.3%. In 2000, I wrote it down. Hold on, let me make sure I get my data right. In 2013, it went to 12.5%. And then in 2017, it went to 14.8%. It kept going up, right? What does that tell you? You're going in the wrong direction. I went to the Department of Statistics last week and asked them, what is the poverty rate in 2024? Because they just did a consensus, remember? They said, oh no, we don't have it. I said, well, why not? You just did a consensus. One of the ladies, they don't like to tell you in government what's really going on. She said, well, we don't really have the finance or the money to do it. I'm like, what? You have to know, you have to have your data, because if you want to help your people, you need to know if the poverty is going up. And I can tell you this. I don't even think I even need that one, because just looking at how people are living, the middle class is disappearing, and we are almost the working poor. I can almost tell you poverty has gone up probably. And so listen, that's one of the reasons why I left both mainstream parties. The second reason is energy reform. As you know, everybody's complaining about the electricity, right? I am too. And the average in the world is about 13 to 14 cents per kilowatt hour. Ours is around 26 to 28 cents per kilowatt hour. What does that tell you? We're double or triple some of the other countries. We're moving in the wrong direction. The government says, oh, well, we're working on some energy reforms, and we're going to go LNG next year, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Well, I just got a statistic before I came here. Bahamar and Atlantis, they use $64 million in BPL bills in the revenue. That's how much they pay BPL, $64 million. You know what BPL said? Oh, by next year, at the end of 2025, you will go from 64 million down to 56 million. Well, guess what? Let's do the math. That's about, what, 10%? No, 10, 12%. 10, 12% is not very much. If your bill is $1,000 and they take off 10%, you're paying $900, right? Can I do the right math? Okay, well, that isn't very much. In the Bahamas, we have sun 365 days a year. Right. What are we doing even paying an electricity bill? That's right. We should have had solar all over the place. What are they doing? Listen, I jumped off the merry-go-round. Now let me give you this other statistics. I tell you I get to data, right? Okay, so we have 400,000 Bahamians average. We have about 4,000 police officers. Now listen to this. Someone say they're cricket bat. That means that we have 1,000 police officers to every 100,000 residents. Do you know what the average in the world is? The average in the world is about 230 police officers to 100,000 residents. Now, you know what that tells me? That tells me that we have more officers than most countries in the world, and yet our crime is going up, and we have more murders than them. So, doesn't that tell you we're going in the wrong direction? Okay, so this message is for the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police. Please, listen, go back to the data, check it out, and perhaps, just perhaps, maybe you could minimize your recruitment as the years go by, put some of that money into social programs. It has been shown that when a country has social cohesion, they usually do much better, sorry. So therefore, I think that our crime management is not the best. And that's why I jump off the merry-go-round. Now, this is the last point because I don't want the moderator to start walking over to me. This is point number 4, and this is about health. You know that's my baby because when we get in, I will be your Minister of Health. I will be your Minister of Health. And listen, we all know that our health system here is subpar. It could be much better. Yes. So what I did, I went to the Marsh Harbor Clinic. I only had time to visit one. And I wanted to see what was going on. And let me talk about the good things first. The building was very beautiful. When I got inside, it was very clean and it was very spacious. But now, the first thing I found out is that they are short-staffed. And it isn't just in Abaco, it's all over the Bahamas. Secondly, I found out that you run out of medicines frequently. And medicines like high blood pressure and diabetes, which is very, very prevalent in the Bahamas, you shouldn't be running out of medicines. That happens all over the Bahamas. I am going to change that. Then I got to the desk and I saw all these charts. And, having a clinic of my own many years ago, I said to the lady, I said, oh, these look familiar. I had these about 20 years ago in my office. I said, but where is your computer? She looked at me and she said, ma'am, no, there's no computer. She said, my hand right now is tired of writing all these notes. And I'm like, what? In the 2024, we don't have computers in the medical clinic? No, man, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Moderator, I almost finished. And then they have an X-ray machine, which is good. That's a good thing. But the lady said there's no technician to run it or read the radiology. I'm like, she said, but we're working on it. We sending someone down soon. All the government buildings, they tell you, we're working on it. We're working on it. Well, guess what? I tried to go working on it. They haven't built one hospital in 70 years. They keep saying we're working on it. It's coming out of the ground. The loan is approved. But guess what? It's time for election again. So guess what? Don't worry about it no more. COI will handle it for you. And thank you for listening to me and graciously listening to me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abaco. We are going to call Ms. Charlotte Green, who is going to introduce our main speaker for this evening, and he will do what he needs to do concerning the candidates.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abaco. It's always a pleasure. And to all of our speakers, thank you so much. And I truly appreciate you. The organization appreciates you. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you, well, this man needs no introduction, but guess what? We're still going to do it anyway. I am honored to introduce the man of the hour and hours to come, Mr. Lincoln Bain. He is not only a leader, but a true fighter for the people. Time and time again, Lincoln has stepped up to stand in the gaps, speaking out for those who feel unheard, defending the rights of the downtrodden, and lifting up the poor and helpless. When others looked away, he leaned in, putting himself on the front line for those in need. His heart for the people and his commitment to justice make him the leader that we need today in this country. Tonight, I would like for us to stand and give our future president and the new Bahamas a warm welcome and a round of applause.
Please be seated. Please be seated. Change ain't coming. Change ain't coming. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob, we're going to need a bigger room. I don't know that much people in Abaco. Where you come from? Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here. I have the task of introducing to you our candidates. I'm going to introduce them, I'm going to let them speak, and then I'm going to come back and speak. That's all I can plan? Well, that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, our party was the first to release its candidate for the next election. We are showing you that we are ready if we're not playing with this. Our country is on life support in a desperate situation. And so we are putting forward the soldiers who are going to lead this army into this battle in Second. And it is a battle to save our nation that is lost. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we reached out far and wide to seek out the best people for each constituency. We have already launched 19 qualified candidates. The difference between our candidates and the other candidates is all of these people were not necessarily politicians or political minded. These are professionals that have decided that we've had enough. And our country will be lost without them volunteering their skills to save this nation. They have the skills that it takes to build the new Bahamas. And I believe in all of them. Will it be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. But I don't want anything easy. Nothing good is going to be easy. But these women and men have the skills.
Yes.
We have introduced to you the typical lawyers and doctors and accountants, etc. But we've introduced other kinds of professionals that are ready to take this country forward. Not the typical names that you have always heard, but the talented people. And these people are in short order, early next year, are going to begin to introduce the vision for the new Bahamas. The vision for what needs to happen in this Bahamas and how we can take this Bahamas to the next level. You ready for that? Awesome. And so, Abaco, you special. So we just didn't want everyone to fly to Nassau. We wanted to fly to Abaco. I think it's because I like Abaco so much. The thing I love most about Abaco, I don't want you all to doubt why I love Abaco, is this lovely cheesecake. But I want you all to know I had no cheesecake since I've been here. But I can work on that. Damn, it's not there, Daniel. It's not good. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we decided to come to you, and you decided to come to us. Thank you all for being here and standing with us. We got to save Abaco. Abaco is the jewel of the Western Hemisphere. This island has so much potential. And this is one of the keys to making the Bahamas great. We are going to make the Bahamas great. That is what we are going to do. We're going to make it great. All right? And it's going to start right in Abaco. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to first introduce to you a candidate that I began to watch a few years ago. And I started to see this candidate's passion for this island of Abaco. And they were so intelligent. I'm like, okay, I'm used to seeing activists, but this activist is well-spoken and intelligent. And they know what they're saying, and they know what's going on.
Yes.
But it wasn't just the intelligence that got me, it was the passion. Because in order for Abaco to get what it needs, we need someone who loves Abaco. Someone who cares about Abaco. And so that's what we're going to get. I'm a person who loves my Bahamas, every single inch of it. I love the Bahamas. That's why I'm fighting for this. I'm willing to sacrifice everything for this. I wanted candidates for Abaco that love Abaco. And so I found that in an intelligent, passionate person who has been standing up, putting themselves at risk for this one Abaco. And so with that, I want to introduce to you the candidate in the next general election and the next member of parliament for Central and South Abaco, Ms. Crystal Raymond.
I want to say that when this started for me, it wasn't about being an activist. It wasn't about becoming a candidate. It was coming home and looking into the eyes of people that I went to school with, people that we traffic with every day. The one thing I can say about Abaco is we're family.
Yeah.
And when anybody is hurting, we all know how to dig down into the clutches and be there for each other.
Yes.
And in 2020, I called Miss Charlotte Green and I told Charlotte that I have this dream. I just woke up out of this dream. And it's Charlotte, I said, you was in this room and we were part of this organization and something is about to happen. And she was like, Charlotte, never, not me, Charlotte. I said, yeah, Charlotte, I saw you speaking. I saw you fighting. She said, what do you mean? I said, we were fighting for Abaco. And as things started to unfold and we kept in contact with the regular conversations, I would just remind her that God will never give you more than you can bear. And that comes from me being able to say to you all in 2018, I was hospitalized with a rare blood condition. And I want to say having a room full of family members and persons, my mom always says this to me, you just as stubborn as ox. I had doctors telling me that I had to take this treatment called Ratification. And I started to do some research on it. Before you can give me anything, I have to know what's going on with this. And the nurse said to me, she said, you're only 30 years old, and I can't let you die. I said, miss, my life nor my death is in the power of your hands. When God brings you to something, He gives you the ability to get through it. And along with my mom, my aunt, my doctor came in and they're saying, Ms. Williams, you want to start this treatment tomorrow. I said, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to decline. And my mother started kicking and carrying on. You need to fall out of your face and talk to God. I'm like, miss, I am here every day talking to God. I'm not taking that treatment. I had the opportunity to walk through every room here on this corridor and all the people that took the toxin. I see what they did and it came back to me. She said, Kristen, you need to stop being stubborn. I go home. I see ya. Have a good one. The next day, I had another doctor that came. He said, why wouldn't you take the treatment? I said, because that is going to kill everything inside my body. And then my body has to now try to figure out how to regenerate and create all this. How do you all know what my regular blood count was before we don't have anything to compare it to? And it taught me something. I would stand on the line with rejects any day.
That's right.
Because they're the people that do it from their hearts.
Yes.
They do it because they know, guess what? It's only me. And then I was reminded of something that my father told me. And he said it to me at 7, 11, and at the age of 21. No one is making it off of planet Earth alive. We will all, no matter, you can be rich, I can be poor, no matter what you're facing, none of us are going to jump on a rocket ship. And to those people that want to make it to heaven, you got to die to get there. But you got to be able to look the people that you face every day in the eye and say that you've done everything that you could possibly do. Because when he created us to be our brothers and our sisters, keepers. I grew up in an era where I wasn't woman enough to tell my Grammy, still beat me. Because by the time I get home, I trying to rub them swells off of me because I'm trying to get another color. And what that teaches me is that one person can make a difference.
Yes.
But with unity and togetherness, and with us making sure that no man is left behind, victory will be our said to me, why did you join COI? So because when I came home and I bought the news outlet, and I'll never forget it because I'm gonna lie to you, Miss Lovely, he had sit down sex. Miss Lovely got up. She said the things that most of us can only imagine. And she's taken the chafing, and I want you all to understand this. Standing up for someone else, that comes with a very heavy burden.
That's right.
Because when we walk around and you have persons that ridicule you, see, you get to live in the comfort and the safety and the backdrop of you not having to say the things that we have to say. But the stares that you get, the confrontation that you're met with, why don't you stop talking? Because I was taught that you leave no one behind. I was taught that you care for everyone. A couple of days ago, I was watching a segment, and the segment came from my leader, who's also your leader, regardless as to how we may feel about them. They're the persons that are in position right now. And the leader said that the cost of living for us is basically our choice. And when I sit back and I look at an average family, a mom that's making $260 minimum wage and is trying to stretch it. How do you say that that's her choice? Because I don't care how any of you feel. In my mind, I'm a millionaire. It just ain't hit my bank account. When I saw places like Baker's Bank and Winding Bay, and now Montage, and another development that's happening, and Treasure Keys supposed to be on the moon. And I sit back and I look at Winding and I look at Baker's Bay. Not one millionaire was created when those entities came to this island. Right. Mr. Nick said it earlier. He said that the people that we have in power, that they don't have skills on how to create wealth. They do. But that the skills that they possess is only about self, right? Because we sit back and we watch our politicians. They live well, they eat well, they have the best. And those things, it is time now that the ceiling is breached. And those opportunities are afforded to all Bahamians. And when I say all Bahamians, I'm talking about, listen, owning a home, people make you feel as if that is the Bahamian dream. A house is something that every Bahamian should have. Because, number one, as far as my eyes can see, Abaco is 120 miles long, 7 miles wide, 22 communities surrounded by 8 keys that are prosperous. But yet, the average Bahamian is only paying bills. And political literacy for me led me down a road of sitting back and looking at the reality. Yes! We had Sir Lyndon Pinland that came along and he had a vision for Bahamians. But that vision died with him. And now we have new people.
Yes.
And they're not hiding. They're not hiding and saying, hey, this is what you're entitled to. They're showing you.
Yes.
And before they said that the natural resources was just a mirage. And now that it's a reality, they're still finding a way to keep it away from us.
Yes. Yeah.
And the only way that's going to continue to happen, because I will be honest with you, the mass majority of you that are here in this room, this fight that you're fighting right now is for future generations. It means, I tell this to people all the time, I decided to fight because I created two humans.
That's right.
And I want them, don't get me wrong, when my son was nothing, he said, I could be a billionaire, even he could be a millionaire. He's going to be a billionaire. And the opportunity is there. It just means that the people that you put at the head of the table, they have to have you in mind for anything else.
Yes.
Because every time a foreigner comes in, they make an investment, and don't get me wrong, they just make on the investment, but when it bellies up, they have the opportunity to walk away with their wealth.
Yeah.
While me and you are left trying to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
So this stance that you're taking for change is for your future, my future, our children's future, and the futures of the next generation. And if you don't join this fight now, you might as well just lay down and play that. Just let that be it. Because if you all only understand, see, when people used to say it to me when I was in school, little girl, what is coming? If you all don't get your heads on the clouds, we will lose. What we stand on right now underneath our own feet, it is slowly being taken away from us. And that's all I came to say tonight. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
I believe in that young lady. I believe that she's going to stand up for Abaco and represent well. In the interim here, because the whole country apparently is watching, including the PLP actually had some kind of rally tonight, because of course they're in election mode. They call a big rally, they have all the artists and everyone is out there. They are terrified. But it means that they are about to call election, so we have to take this serious. We don't want them to hoodwink and bamboozle us like they did last time. Then they said, no, election is next year. We got another year. And then the next week, people room the house. And then they go off the house. We got to be ready this time. You see, the IMF is forcing income tax on them because their fiscal affairs are not together. The IMF is telling them, you have to bring income tax. So what does that mean? That means customs, VAT, and income tax. It's on the way. When I told people VAT was coming, they didn't believe me. But I never speak what I don't know.
Right.
I'm telling you what I know. Because income tax is being forced on them, they have to call the election first before they do it. Because they know if they drop income tax on us, they finish. And so they want to pretend that it's not coming and they're going to bring income tax and then they're going to bring it. If you listen carefully to the FNF's convention, you would have heard Tard
allude to it. Pinchard said that they're going to have a more equitable tax. All right, you heard him say that, right? That's when whenever you hear them talking about that, they're talking about income tax. All right, and so they have this belief that with income tax, if you make more, you pay more. But that doesn't really happen. All right, because the wealthy never pay their fair share. They end up paying less. All right, and so don't fool for that more equitable form of tax, because the wealthy always has their loopholes in income tax system. The wealthy invest their money, and so if that is unrealized capital gains, they don't have to pay for it. So instead of putting their money in the bank, they're going to put it in investments, which they already do, and so only us are going to end up paying that. All right. We do not need to be a country that depends on taxes. And we are not going to be a country that depends on taxes. We're going to benefit from the natural resources, even though they ain't real and even though they ain't worth nothing. So that's what they're telling us. It only ain't real for us. But if you look at their bank accounts, it is very real. And we're going to benefit from the carbon credits that before election they say it wasn't real. Oh, they can be selling dreams. Now that's all they're talking about. And so with these things, we don't have to be dependent on income tax. And so don't let them bamboozle you. But if you vote for the PLP or the FNM, prepare for income tax on top of all of the burdens you already have. Remember, I told you this. All right, and so they're being forced to do that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to give you a little update. One of our candidates, our council, not council, yes, our council, our central council met, and we decided to move our candidate from central South Andros to Tall Pines. Okay, and so our candidate for Central and South Andros, because he is stationed in New Providence, we want to be as efficient as possible. All right, we're not going to be a government that if you're inefficient, you just keep doing what you're doing. We are going to make sure that we get the best for what we need. All right, and so you're going to see real leadership as we go into this government. And so we decided as a council to place that person who was a very good candidate, to place him in a New Providence seat instead of where he was located. All right, his name is Trevor Green, and he is our Shadow Minister of Education. Very talented and educated young man, master's degree in education, degrees in computer science and CIS and other specialties also. We feel that he will make a good contribution to the cabinet of this Bahamas and helping us reshape education in this country. We have other educators also. We have several teachers, also a university professor who is a part of what we're doing. Trevor Green is someone who is passionate for the disabled. And a big part of what we are going to do is going to be for our disabled children and people especially. We're going to revolutionize the way that our disabled have been treated in this country. That's with mental disabilities like autism, Down syndrome and other things. There are some families that lost their lives because they have to take care of their children or their elderly, et cetera, et cetera. But the government is going to take on that responsibility. We're going to assist you. All right? I have a son who has autism. I know their pain. And I'm going to make sure that that is a focus of this country, because these children did not ask to be here. All right? And that's why me as a father, I decided to take on the responsibility, not mother, that's me. That's my child. I bring him here. I'm going to take care of him. And that's what I do. And all of us as a country should look to take care of these people. There's some people who haven't been able to go to church for many years because they have a disabled child. They have not been able to go to the movies. And there's many things they've not been able to do. And so that's why I love the fact that a professional like Trevor Green is on our team. All right? Now, Trevor Green has been ratified now for the constituency, his constituency of Tall Pines. So I think he has one of the easiest tasks that there is, because he's going against someone from the FNL. I'm not going to call his name yet, and he's going against Dr. Darwell. Dr. Darwell, you have failed miserably. And so we expect you to either put in your resignation, and if you don't come back. We're looking to take Tall Pines and put that in our winning column. All right. So we just want to apologize to the people of Central and South Andres, but we are going to send another candidate there for you. And so as soon as we finish the vetting and ratification process, we'll get on with that. We've already identified someone for North Andres. All right. We have a lot of good candidates that are going to be rolled out in short order. All right. So the next candidate that I am going to introduce to you, you're bringing down the rain. That's blessings. Blessings. The next candidate I'm going to introduce to you is another person who satisfied our need to finding someone who's going to stand up and fight for Abaco. As I watched what you all went through during Dorian, I couldn't believe that the government could do such a thing. And I couldn't believe that opposition would sit there and watch it and do nothing. I can't believe. It's almost like that was a dream. This must be some kind of movie. There's no way a government could seriously do what they are doing. And as they were doing their oppression, it was difficult to speak out. Not many people had the courage to speak out. But there is another person who had the courage to speak out and the courage to stand up. In the midst of what he was going through, he continued to stand up for you, the people of Abaco. Anyone can talk about whether someone is perfect or not and whether someone is good or not, but I'm going to tell you one thing that I've noticed. I am a student of history, and I am a student of the Bible, a theologian. I know it like the back of my hand, and I love history. Not to talk about history, I can't have a conversation with you in. And in my studying history, I have never seen someone who was chosen to bring change who was perfect. They always had some flaws. It's almost like, God, you sure? God never picks perfect people. God never picks people who everyone is going to love. In fact, the Bible says, if everyone loves you, watch out, you're in the wrong direction. Because anytime someone is going to stand up, they're going to build enemies. I can tell you, I know. Anytime someone is going to speak the truth, they're going to rub some people the wrong way. The truth has a habit of doing that. Even our Savior Jesus Christ said that. People don't love truth. He said, even like darkness, not light. And so we need someone who's going to make sure that Abaco never suffers through what happened again. That even if the COI goes into office and they don't deliver on what they promised, we need candidates that are going to say, hey, y'all get it together. Y'all need to do that to Abaco. Y'all gonna fix this for Abaco. Someone who's going to stand up even in our organization and stand up for Abaco. Ladies and gentlemen, we found that man. In fact, you found that man. In fact, you born that man. You born him and you raise him. And he loves Abaco. And so this man has sacrificed, put himself out there on the front line, been locked up, been released, been locked up again. And then some love him, and then some hate him. I can tell you one thing. He loves Abaco. And that's all that counts. So I want you to know that I had a long conversation with him yesterday, about standing up, for Abaco and making sure that we present in the way that we should present. All right? You don't have to touch everything now, We're out of activism mode. We're out of protesting mode. We're going into government mode. And so, how many of you know that sometimes you gotta pivot? And so, you're gonna see a renewed person who is ready to show you that he's ready to govern this nation. And how many of you know that I had a conversation today with a police inspector who locked him up? I don't sit down with him to let him know that the most important thing is that Abaco is restored and that this country is saved. All right? And that he is willing to let that go. And Kai is willing to let that go. I didn't say drop the lawsuit, but to let that go. Because we have to win Abaco. You understand? So I'm asking you, I am going to stand with this man because I see the passion in his heart. I am going to stand with this man as he stands for you. And I'm going to ask you to stand and welcome Mr. Kai.
Thank you. It's been a long journey to get to this point. I'm gonna take my time. Everybody knows I'm pretty shy. I don't like to speak. Anybody that fought politics in this country, remember that the FNM was in the wilderness for many years.
That's right.
Leader died, never even got an opportunity to see the FNM as he came to become the government. This journey has never been about self. It's never been about time. It's about giving the information. I was in self-isolation for 6 weeks and asking God, why me? Well, people don't know, but I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior. Y'all had a good talk. I said many years ago. I understand all the preachers, all the teachers, but one thing they don't remember to do, that I do always, to live Christ like here, not here.
That's right.
And how I know I'm on the wrong track before I go to any move I make, before I say anything, I ask this question: what would Christ say? And what would he do? The same thing that a lot are criticized about me, they're saying wants to kill Jesus and say, give them Barabbas, talk too much, he's God's baby. Somebody came into my party, anybody here from Abaco Central High? This is so timely to live. We're down in the New Modern Peace, which is 10 times bigger than what we are today. I came home lying down, said I'm trying to get some rest before this meeting. And I saw a voice that came, and this person was fearless, more aggressive, 10 times at what times now. He was my mentor. And he left the voice note if I could find it. And it really encouraged me. And when you all hear it, if I could find it. Everybody that went to Abaco Central High back then, we have a saying saying, seize the time. And he was my mentor way back then. The basic of technology was right there. Now we can't find it. But my speeches. This is all I have right here. And I asked Abaco North Abaco, what type of member of parliament, minister would you like me to be? Would you like to be, want me to be like Ronaldo Curry?
No.
Would you want me to be like Darren Hitfield? Would you want me to just come and call like Kirk? I can only be kind member. Everything I do, me and Lincoln had a discussion, and I told him it was not about me. It's never been about me. We're getting into election mode, so you will see a different time. So basically, we're at Freddie's place, and the police that locked me up last came in there. And Lincoln, I didn't know Lincoln, all his family was police, and Johnny, his brother, he was a police, Maria was police. They told him, look here, it's a man, stand down. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you're going through a journey and you have people that understand what you're going through. The last 2 weeks has been very interesting. I got 3 family members left. 2 uncles, 1 uncle and 2 aunts. And I found my first cousin today. I've heard about her, but I've seen her, but I met her today for the first time, all the way from Cedar Harbor. My uncle Austin, first child, son of Jack. I was going to be her, and I met her, and she's small, but she has that Mills blood. And I'm so happy to see her. And we walked today. I had arthritis for 2 weeks. My leg waited today. I walked, and I just want to thank Gilbert. I said, Gilbert, I ain't taking my car down the back of here. I ain't taking my car down the back of here. And Gilbert said, we need to go in the back of here. And I want to thank Gilbert for taking us back there. Because what the government showed us, that they're destroying the homeless supply. If those of you that were watching my video today, it's a whole city, beautiful city in the back of Murphy Town. And the houses are so huge and so manicure, you'd think sure they own the property. But they built to stay. And I knew there was a problem when we can have 100 illegal homes built on land that belongs to us, and we can build 10 in Murphy County. I don't understand. And nobody's saying nothing. We also visited today the 5 homes that the FNM left with there. It's going to be 65 built, 5 is on the way. And while I was there, the phone rang, and I thought it was Freddie Jones. And I'm talking like it's Freddie, but it happened to be the Jones who was building the house. I said, how did you get my number? I haven't talked to you in years. He said, I see you online. I'm building those homes. I'm careful what you say. Technology is a beautiful thing. I want to thank, we had 3 weeks to prepare for the last election. And I was fortunate to get more votes in the country than many. Got my money back from people. So if we could get 700 in 3 weeks, what do you think we could get in 3 months? But back then, I was afraid I didn't get the voters registration until an hour after the poll closed. They had me hold hostage. I had to thank my personal security, my chauffeur, the only man I could go to and would go to me every time I said, I'm ready. Von Dowell, I want to thank you for being there. Every time I got locked up, he was on the next plane. That takes dedication, that takes friendship. Thank you, man. I want to thank my neighbor, cousin, and Linda. Well, she's a strong PLP, but she ain't married yet. She's a 5-star general in the PLP, but she switched over and she run my campaign office. Thank you, lady. And the proud thing about our last election, we had the only campaign office in the biggest district in North Abaco. Right. And we had electricity, air conditioning, baby. That was important then, and it's important going forward.
Yes.
You are looking at, you're quiet. What if you wake up in the morning and Kai is the next Minister of National Security? You think I know all the police? I'm gonna be nice, I'm gonna call them in and invite them in. Until they remember me. And they remember when they did the Abaco. Abaco is a jewel, but we don't have nobody with broad shoulders.
That's right.
I just want to apologize to anybody that I have offended through this journey. Because one thing I've done, anybody, trying to find if anybody here was my classmate, I'm trying to see if anybody was in my class. Anybody that was in my class in Abaco Central, Freddie was my class. They will tell you that Guy has been the same aggressive, no-nonsense person that I was back then 40 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And somebody will say, are you going to change? What do you want me to change to? I am who I am in Christ Jesus who saved me. I don't want to be long, but I got to get off my chest because I've been in isolation for 6 weeks. This fight, I already know. Lincoln, y'all gonna get yours. We got this one at North. I sat down with a group. We had Linda, his daughter. We had a skeleton crew to go up against those people like fish, chicken, pork chops. We were fighting all of them. But I sat down with a group. Old Mike's son, Gilbert, Freddie, the lady, I'm still trying to know everybody. It was so heartwarming to see that they are matching the passion that I have. I said, well, my mother said this. If they catch hell long enough, they will catch sex. Yes. And trust me, we have been catching hell. When you see, anybody recognize that the Marshall International Airport brings in $60 million a year, and for 2 months we cannot open the door at the international terminal. 2 months it can't be open at 60 million. You know how it makes me feel when a custom officer at the dock that grows 170 million a year to date 5 years later don't have a bathroom. I tell Lincoln those that they don't believe it. A worker on the dock has to go home to use the bathroom 5 years later. You know what they tell me? The only thing they enjoy when the Duke of Top Sale come in, they can get a cold drink or something to eat. Yes. 5 years later. That is unacceptable. One thing I'd like to leave with you before I go here, and this is how you tell a good friend. My lifelong friends is Chris there, Seti, Robert Dopo, Murray, my basketball mentor there, Gene. If I don't call his name, I'll be in trouble. But Gene is the one that showed me basketball. That's why I become involved. And you know, when you have passion, that you could coach, pay for the uniform, pay for the plane ticket, pay for the best hotel in Nassau, or the beer pocket. That's the car I made for 10 years to the district. That's passion. And to the friendship, there's nobody that can come and tell me ill about any of my friends. So going forward, when anybody come and try to PLT and the FNM, bring that negative tone, for those of you that are supporting me, you speak up for me. I'm not gonna say this is my mom. Tell us that I water, I am, and I will, and I shall vote for COI Mills.
Yes.
I told the group there, a vote for COI. It's a vote for you. I'm just standing here, but I have that ability to move the furniture around. I have a group of businessmen from Marshall. They shocked me. They come and meet with me, put me in the back seat, and they said this to me, which was real shocking. 4 years in, they said, we have business, our family is good, we don't need no money, but one thing we'd like to see, these white men from our shop, not the black brothers, they said the only thing they would like to see before they die is to see you, COI Mills, in the House Assembly. And I said, you already believe so? I said, you represent truth, integrity, and all those things that we're looking for. So we're FNM, we're PLP. They begged me, do not run PLP or FNM. You run independent. He said, listen, people of Marshall, they are tired, and that's who they represent. My mother, Althea, left this with me. She said, you know when you want to know if your child is intelligent? When they have a discussion, when they said, and you notice when you go campaigning, my mother was a PLP. My father was a FNM. But when your child could say, Mommy, Daddy, this was what you were, but I don't see any progress in that. This is what I'm gonna do. You know, the parents really, like, wow, this child does have a brain. Because what was good for your mom, your pa then, is not conducive to what's going on now. So I want to thank Mr. Charlotte and the crew for believing in me. We are in election mode. I got to be more presidential. I'll be a little more polite. So you may not see the usual videos. But whenever I come forward, there'll be something of truth. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amen, amen.
That's good. I said, that's even more.
I'm gonna put you on it again. Are you ready to fight? It's time to fight for Abaco. We're gonna take Abaco. Their worst nightmare is the COI in the house. Their worst nightmare is the COI in the house. They are terrified of that. They don't even know not one of us in there. They scared of all of us. That's their worst nightmare. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to remember a number. I want you all to remember a number, and that number is 1,703. 1,703. and three. Y'all say that, 1,703. All right, and 1,703 is 1/3 plus one of the registered voters in Abaco.
Wow.
Remember, there are 5,106 registered right now. 5,106. We don't need 50% plus one. When you have three major parties, you need 1/3 plus one. Get it?
Yes.
So last time the PLP got about 1,300, the FNM got about 1,000, and we got just over 700 in North Abaco. All right? And so for North Abaco, the Guy Mills, how much is that? 1,703. I'm not counting Crystal because Crystal done win. How much South Africa people in here? All right. That sounds like everyone in South Africa. Everyone is here. And so I was just giving you an example of the math by using North Abaco. All right? You don't need 50% plus one. You don't need the majority, you just need the most.
Yes.
This is the easiest it has ever been for a third party to actually win. All right? And there ain't no third party.
No.
There's only two parties in the Bahamas.
That's right.
And that's the PLP and FNM, that's one party. The COI is the other party. We ain't the third party. We's the other party. And this time, the other party go in. And so that's how you do the numbers. And so we're going to use our special abilities. We can't talk it because we are live, to make sure that we use our special skills to make sure that we win this. We can win this with the numbers, and we can win this with technology. We can beat them. Right? The good part about it is we're going to have a president who is a computer scientist. And so, yeah, and so we're going to win this. And we're going to win. All right? Something that I think most of us missed this week. There was a lot of news. Like lately, it's so much news. Like every other day, some scandal with this government. It's like you can't even keep up with them. And that's what I had to tell, Kai and Maria, listen, we gotta just leave them for now. Let's just organize and take the government. Because they're gonna make you look crazy running after every foolishness they do. You will be doing a video every hour trying to keep up with these fools. I think the Bahamian people should know by now that they're not good for this country. And if you ain't know that by now, you don't deserve that nothing. Let them keep doing what they're doing. All right? But it's not gonna happen on my watch. Ladies and gentlemen, something I heard come out of the mouth of the Minister of Health, who we're about to fire, the outgoing Minister of Health, because we're gonna be bringing a very qualified Minister of Health to take this over, an intelligent Minister of Health. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minister of Health, they were talking about suicide because the officer who was, who made the accusation against Jobeth Kobe Davis, where he said she knocked him down. First, he was arrested in a weird way. All of a sudden, they found drugs in his car, but they never informed us that he was arrested. All right, it came in the news where they said this person was arrested. They didn't say who he was. Remember, they never had called his name.
Right.
So when that made one of the papers, no one connected the two. So they didn't tell us that this man was locked up. They found the drugs in his car, and he was then suspended from the police force. All right, we didn't even know that. Did you ever hear that? Yeah. So coincidence, eh? The minister allegedly knocked him down. Then all of a sudden, this good, upstanding officer, all these years, all of a sudden he found drugs in his car. and he's suspended off of the force. And so much pressure has come down on him. And that's why I respect Crystal Williams and Guy Mills. You all don't understand the pressure that it is to be standing up and fighting. To sacrifice yourself is not easy. Right? And so much pressure came on him that he attempted to commit suicide. He hung himself and they found him hanging in his room. Do you know I know when you join the force and you have so much promise and so much future that you're looking forward to and what you're going to do with your life, et cetera, and then it's like you have the whole world against you because the government is against you. And I know about that because whenever there was corruption when I was in the force, whether there were police officers who wanted to sell out the drug dealers, et cetera, I would never be a part of it. I would fight against it. I would expose it from I was there. And I know the pressure that they would bring down on you. And I understand what he's probably going through. And he tried to kill himself. And guess what? That didn't make the news. He didn't report that.
No, they didn't.
Until I revealed that and I called the media and I told them this is what is going on. Do you all know that this has happened? They tried to keep it hush hush. Them trying to keep it hush hush is what makes it suspect to me. If they didn't try to keep it hush hush, I would say, okay, well, it's just some stuff that happened. Because they tried to hush that up, that makes me feel that something is off. I can't confirm that, but that's how I feel. And in reporting on that eventually, the minister started to talk about suicides. Yeah. And he actually revealed, and I don't know how this missed all of you, he revealed that suicides have gone up since the New Day government. This, Dr. Abaco, this was on the news. We had now have our murder rate that all of us are up in arms over is now at, what is it at, Maria, 109? We reached 100 and something. 100 and let's say it's 109. All right? I honestly saw coming. All right, we didn't put up our signs, we had to take them down. I saw coming. But yeah, they cut them down. But our murder rate is just over 100. Our suicide rate, according to the minister, is 400 a year. Our suicide rate is just over, that's what Dwayne San said a couple of days ago. I couldn't believe I heard that. When I go live tomorrow, I'm going to play that. Over 400 people a year are attempting to kill themselves under this New Day government. People are under so much pressure in this country. It is mind-blowing. We are suffering as a people. The people are groaning. We are all groaning. We feel that even hell is better than living in this country. When you see 400 people a year saying that they'd rather the afterlife than this life, you know something is wrong. We can't continue to suffer through the PRP and FNM. We cannot. And so, Ms. Williams actually brought up something very interesting. She brought up the Prime Minister and his comments. The Prime Minister and his comments about the cost of living in this country. If this was any other country, they would have shut this place down. The Prime Minister standing next to the $200,000 BMW in the $1,000 suit that we pay for, said that our choices is leading to the high cost of living. Our choices are leading to the high cost of living, Abaco. And I can talk about Abaco in a minute, but I just want you to bear with me through this. because the whole country is watching. All right? And I want them to understand something. The Prime Minister, and I love how he gives solutions. Y'all don't laugh. He had a solution to crime, give all the women whistles. It's a brilliant man. Y'all ain't saying it, you're laughing. Y'all ain't saying it. And so he actually gave, after the backlash about this whole thing, he actually gave the solutions to the high cost of living that the PLP have put in place. I don't know if you all heard the solutions. Anyone heard the solutions? Okay, so let's say the solutions. Jesus. Let me read these solutions. I know I go to hell for calling them solutions, but you all get, God punish me for one day for that. I'm sorry. I seek forgiveness. But he said these are the solutions that they have for the high cost of living. So the first one is to bring electricity. Said they are putting we're putting solar panels up to bring electricity prices down. 3 years later, not one solar panel. They have increased your electricity bill by 300 to 400% for the last 3 years. Do you know how much they have to give you a negative electricity bill for the next 2 years in order to make that back up to you? It doesn't matter if they drop electricity 50% right now. They have been raping you for so long that it doesn't matter. And so to say that you're going to put up solar, no, you're not. You're going to put up some because that's what previous governments agreed with the international community to do. And if you don't do it, you're going to be punished in terms of your interest, your ability to access loans and some other things that Bahamas needs. So they're going to do it. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to let Frankie Wilson and them put up the solar so they can make the free money. And so, yeah, they're going to reduce it a little bit because that's money going in their pocket. And that's after they've already taxed you for all these years by increasing the fuel surcharge after telling us they would never let it happen on their watch. A week later, they increased it, and they're going to take that money and do some solar. And now they're going to make free money. They don't have to buy the oil and sell it to BPL. They get the free power from the sun. Y'all had better wake up. He said, our energy reforms mean that 80,000 BPL customers have already seen a reduction in monthly bills. 80,000. Any of your electricity gone now? You're in the 80,000? You're in the click, man. You're in the click. He had said 98. Jesus. So next he said, we're review. This is a solution. The solution is we're reviewing taxes and fees so we can reduce the tax burden on middle and lower income families. So they're not reducing it, no. They're reviewing it. Oh Jesus. You know why? You know why? Get that in a second. They raised the national minimum wage.
Yeah, where? 25
Provided promotions and pay adjustments in the public sector and reduce the duties on a number of imports. We are investing in local agriculture. Local agriculture. Let me tell you something. Bamsi was a nice idea, but it was a sham. They took $60 million that first year to invest, to steal money out of our treasury. That was not about providing agriculture for the Bahamas. Let me tell you something. Under the COI, and Abaco is going to help us take that lead. Under the COI, we are going to invest heavily in agriculture. Because you are not worthy if you are not able to feed yourself. But we are not looking to feed ourselves, we are looking to feed the world. We have what it takes to get it done. We can feed the world, and we will. Abaco, you already help us with that? The comments farmers in this room. We are going to heavily invest, subsidize, like other countries are doing. We are going to heavily subsidize agriculture in a serious way. Not in that sham way that they did $60 million for some dormitories. They are saying that they have invested in agriculture. 3 years later, where are these crops? What they grow? They grow in bamboo. Why are they taking so long to come on the ground? Yeah, when any of your farmers they invest in y'all? No? Oh wait. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I'm sorry. Change coming. So 3 years later, if you are truly invested, then we heard about that Golden Yoke program. I looked at the budget of that Golden Yoke program. I don't see where any money is from that Golden Yoke program was distributed. I'm not hearing about it anymore. It sounds like another sham. Maybe it was another way, like the domes, to steal money from the treasury. And so we need a serious government who is not about using contracts to steal from the treasury. The country makes $3.5 billion a year. Do you know where most of that money goes? Into their pockets.
That's right.
How? Through the contracts. They give the contracts to themselves. That's why they fight so hard at election time. That's $3.5 billion of guaranteed money that they will give some to their crony. The crony knows you got to give half of that. You put up the price, because half of that going to us. I think we should be tired of that by now. We're still with no more. And so we need to make sure that every single contract goes to the right place. And we'll be discussing in a second how that's going to work. All right? So we're going to invest heavily in agriculture. Our farmers are going to be the millionaires. Our farmers are going to be the millionaires. Let me tell you something. We have a vision. We believe that we can farm. We can do organic farming. All right?
Yes.
Agriculture is America's #1 industry. I said #1 industry, agriculture. We believe that we can compete, not just with their GMO stuff, but the world is a niche for organic materials. And they're not going to see us as a threat if we're doing organic niche materials. All right, both crops. And so we believe that we can do that. It just makes sense, man. Organic food from paradise. It just sounds good. Like Fiji water. It just sounds, that's water from paradise. It must be good. It makes sense. And so we are going to invest in that. We have the skills. And if we have $3.5 billion, that means we have the money too. We don't have to borrow for that. They have the money. They just squander it on nonsense. They spend it on what they don't need to spend it on. So don't say where you're going to get the money from. We know where the money is coming from. All right. So we're gonna make that happen. I just thought I would interrupt his solutions right there to give a real solution. All right. And so where was I? They're going to do reduce duties on the number of imports. We are investing in local agriculture, trade, diversification. They don't say what that is. Consumer protection. How is that going to reduce the cost of living? And affordable housing. No, you're going to take our free crown land, give it to Frankie Wilson and them to put a cheap house on it so you all can benefit from our crown land instead of giving it to us. All right? So it's not affordable. Give us our crown land. It's ours. All right? And then they said, this is how they're reducing the cost of living. This is the biggest one on here. We put free Wi-Fi in our parks. If I use the cuss, I would cuss right there. I'm not even going to elaborate on that. Free Wi-Fi in the park reduces the cost of living. So in other words, stop paying for your own Wi-Fi, go in the park and use it. You know Park in Abaco? Man, don't say that. 51 years. You know how much money Abaco sends in our song? We get that right now. And so they said they serve on breakfast to some of the kids across the country, and that's going to reduce the cost of living. I mean, oh Lord, I can't read any more of that. Yeah, we need the whistles. Hold on, no, don't tell me all the actual whistles. Don't tell me. I know Lisa got your whistles. This is a lying crowd. Y'all don't do the 5 minutes like that. They get their whistle. Y'all ain't say. All right. All right. So what he said is that we should eat instead of eating steak, we should eat hamburgers. That's what yeah. All right. All right. So enough of him. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a plan not just for Abaco, but for this whole entire nation. And I thank you for being the persons who want to step out and wanting to see this change. It's not going to happen because of anything we do. It's going to happen if you make it happen. It's going to happen if you spread the word. It's going to happen if you give your time, your efforts, and resources to making this happen. You know the number one thing that we are pushing, and that is adding states and city governments. Because this is your Abaco. And you should determine what happens here. How could your airport make $60 million a year and you can then get AC in there? That $60 million goes to the Providence for them to squander on traveling and partying it. No radar. Come on, you gotta say that loud. Come say that loud.
No radar, no tower control. The gentleman that died the other day, that was a ricochet of a Pilatus plane flew over him. He got caught up in their jet stream and that flight crashed. And a local young pilot discovered where the plane was because no technology could show us where that gentleman. So that wife got a decomposing body. And it's shame on us that 5 years after Dorian, we knew that many of the problems that face Abaco right now were here before Dorian. So Dorian shouldn't be an excuse, right? But the money that is being put in, man, spend my back on us.
Amen. Amen. All right. So now I know Chris is a lie, and she's trying to say your airport making $60 million a year and you ain't got no radar.
You better leave the door open so you don't fall.
How we gonna take this over to you? I can't hear it.
Leave the door open so you don't fall.
She's lying, right? No? $60 million and no radar?
You didn't have to say, you got to leave the door open so you don't fall down. You shut the door, the place sweat to death.
What?
You got to leave the door open so you don't fall down.
So island states and city government, because everyone watching it tonight, this might be the first time they've heard of us or seen this, but I gotta say this for them to understand, all right? We gotta say this. The power of America is that it is 50 countries in one, all right? It is 50 countries in one, and that's where they get their power from. We believe that if the money that is made in Abaco, in Grand Bahama, in Andres, etc., stays on those islands, that they can build up their own islands and that they can compete with nations. We believe that their economies can compete with Barbados, a country, or Jamaica, or Cayman, or Bermuda. But the reason they don't want this is because they want to keep control and they want to steal the money. Simple as that. And so island states mean your money stays here. You pay a royalty to the central government so they can operate central government ideas and proposals. And so We have to make this happen. All right? I'm tired of us depending on politicians. I'm not even asking you to trust us to do what is right. I'm asking you to trust you to do what is right, because no one is going to take care of Abaco better than you. And so we are going to make this happen for you and for every island. Every island in the country is suffering from neglect right now, even though they are sending all of their money to Nassau and getting nothing back. Every island. And this is why this is critical and important. Everything you see the government doing recently is in response to our ideas that they feel is resonating with the people. They hear everyone talking about island states. Pintan missing say while they was going to interview him the other day. He missing the island states. All right. But notice they're now talking about a local government act, a change in local government laws, trying to say they're going to give you more responsibilities. They are lying. It was intended from 1996 when it was implemented to give you full autonomy. But what they do is they make you feel they're going to do it and they hold back on the money. And so if you have no money, you can't do nothing. Just like the Freedom of Information Act, that was implemented, but they're holding the money so you can't do it. And so that's what they do. They strangle it by keeping the money from it. And so they are not going to empower you. They're not going to give you anything. You understand? So don't fool with their tricks. They just feel that is resonating. They are going around and fake breaking down shanty towns because they know that people are resonating with our message of having proper immigration. Proper migration. Immigration means bad migration. Proper migration and not illegal immigration. All right? People are resonating with that, with putting names first. So now they're trying to make you feel comfortable when they're really going to do nothing for you. But back to island states, you are going to keep your money. And so it's not just about our vision. We have great vision, you know. We have great ideas that we're going to put forward. The federal government can do, well, the central government can do certain things, and the local governments can do certain things. But we have great ideas. But the ideas are right here in Abaco. If you had your own money, wouldn't you have a park in Abaco? Wouldn't your farms be properly funded? Wouldn't your firemen wouldn't have to be volunteers? You wouldn't have a clinic, you would have a hospital. Let me show you something. The clinic that you all have is bigger than Doctor's Hospital. That could actually be a hospital.
A hospital. Everything. It is a hospital, has been built to operate as a hospital, but it's not outfitted as a hospital. Right. No workers no doctors are sent down. We have no radiologists. We have nobody that can actually operate the facility. So, I mean, let's be real, if I was still in the baby making stages, I had to go to Nassau to have a child. Why?
Wow. And so it's not that we don't have the resources, you know. Let me tell you how that works. They will not give you a proper hospital. You have one in Nassau, and you will not get one here because they make money from you coming to them privately. Every bit of our suffering that we suffer in this country is because it's something they make money from. You did not get your supplies that was donated to you because they are in the building supply industry. I think they're going to give you free lumber. They did that. The reason they didn't want to declare their loved ones there is because they're in the insurance industry. They need to keep that from you. All right? Wow. They say an emergency flight is $7,000 to $10,000. She said the minister shares in the airlift service. I don't have to check for them. They know that for a fact. All right? And so your suffering It's because that's how they make money. And we have to wake up. And so people are going to shake pom-poms for the people who are making them suffer. It is ridiculous if we need change. And so island states is simple. Island states means that you determine your island, which is a state, and your city government, your island state is broken up into cities. And each city has its own city council. You hear them talking about it now? Because they hear me preaching it? They ain't do nothing with that. All right? And so your council determines what happens with your budget. Your council presents the budget to the state and they approve your budget. All right? And that doesn't have to come to Nassau. That ain't our business. What you do with your money. That's your business. What happens there? All right? And so you can now run your own affairs. We are taking power away from the politician and giving it to the people. This is the revolution. Like we have started. We've had enough of depending on politicians. Every 5 years, okay, what you gonna do for the community? All you want to do is make money. That's it. And that's why you never get anything. As our election finished, number change, gone in Nassau.
That's right.
Now they have to run you all down. Now they're gonna have to run us down to get things done in the community. The politician's job is to pass laws. And your job is to make sure the road pays. And if the mayor doesn't do what he's supposed to do, guess what you can do? Fire him. You don't have to wait for 5 years. Fire him now. And so we're going to change the game. All we want is the power in the hands of the people. That's it. That's it. And so we are going to give the power back to you. There's something else that we want to do that's very important. Politics is a very nasty and dangerous game. The minute you come into that game, they're gonna make up stories about you, lie on you, they're gonna be vicious. Your family can't take it. And so the professionals in this country can't take going through the political process because they're gonna be slandered and destroyed. And then if they don't win, where are they going to work after that? Because some people don't believe some things they say about you. All right? And so even if they win and then they lose, where are they gonna go after that? And so that's the problem. We don't get the best people to be running these ministries. We normally get inexperienced people running the ministries. And so a change that we're going to bring when we change this government is that we're going to have cabinets the way they have it in the United States of America. Where, as you can see now, President Trump is picking his candidates of professionals in different industries. Now you get the best to be able to operate into different ministries. It doesn't matter who this person supports, that's a professional. He knows what he's doing. We can put him in charge of that ministry. Doesn't that make more sense? And so it doesn't have to be a member of parliament. It can be, but it doesn't have to be restricted to being a member of parliament in the cabinet. You can take in America, they can take a general and say, okay, we're going to make you the Secretary of Defense because he has that experience. You can take someone with experience in medicine and the hospital industry, and you can put them in charge of healthcare. You can put actual people with actual talent in these different areas. And that way, the country is going to be able to operate properly. The members of parliament job will be to go to the House and pass laws that benefit all of the people. We need proper accountability, and we are going to bring that. We have to change the system because they make it so that we're dependent on them. And they keep us poor. They benefit from our poverty. So when they come around with their gifts and crumbs, election time, they give us that $200. We feel it's so much like, boy, I need to give us something. I can vote for him. Because when you come to someone who is not hungry and offer them, they're not desperate. They're not going to sell their birthright. Every 5 years, we've been selling our birthright. And only them have been getting rich. And so that's what I wanted to say. I don't want to talk all night. I want to stop here because I want to hear from you. I didn't come all the way here just to talk. I want to hear from some of you. I want you to speak. You started to speak just now, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you have to say. What's your issues? Anything. It doesn't matter. What do we need to see in this country? Do you have questions for me about our plans, our vision, anything it is? Do you not understand something about the carbon credits, about the natural resources, about how we're going to implement something? I want to literally hear from you about what's going on in Abaco. I'm not going to put you on camera. They hear your voice. They're not going to see you. But I want to hear from you. You ready to talk, Abaco? Yeah. All right. So let's take about 15 minutes, and I want to hear from you as a people. What's going on in Abaco? If you want to talk, even if you just want to congratulate these two amazing candidates that you have, give them a round of applause again. I want to hear from you. The reason I want to hear from you is because Abaco is in serious problems. Abaco is not progressing, it's regressing while they steal from us. All of the visions and plans that you have can be done. Let's say this before I put the floor to you. Chester Cooper just said in the House of Assembly this week that they spent $10 million because of a video. They said a video was out there that made the country look bad, and they spent $10 million to deal with that. Y'all saw that? Yeah. Now, that's the industry I'm in, all right? What did you spend that $10 million on? Did you pay a ransom to the person to take down the video? Well, first of all, I don't believe that the video exists. I don't believe that there was actual video. I believe that it was an actual robbery of the treasury again. All right? And if they want me to think otherwise, give me the paper of information out. They tried to steal that. Let me put this in perspective for you. They gave Atlantis $8 million every year to advertise Atlantis. $8 million every year. Y'all didn't know that? They also give it to Bahama. Yes. When you see the Atlantis commercial on CNN or Headline News, we pay for that. What? Yeah, $8 million. So if you give them $8 million to advertise for a whole year on these big stations, what the $10 million was for? It was a robbery. Yes. Think about that. There are websites you can go on right now, and you can, just for a little small subscription fee, you can get them to clean up your name on the internet. You know that? Yeah. You got everything up your name. So what is it that you pay $10 million for? They are robbing us and saying they don't have money. Don't fall for that. But anyway, I'm going to open the floor. Anyone who wants to speak, come. We got 15 minutes. Anyone who wants to talk, come. Don't storm me. Don't storm me. Anyone, come on. Come. All right. Chichi, let me make sure they're up. All right, let him talk. Okay, come.
All right, you ready? Let's go.
All right.
I think it's it's really confusing. I'm sorry to offend anybody, right? What is going on in Dunderstown with these, which call illegal buildings, and these particular people, they're building these in shock all over to our community. And I discovered that there's another building going up in Dunderstown now. Listen, I'm going to deal with Ministry of Works. Believe me, I'm going to deal with them. I've never mind to play with. I've been on that board for. I've been on the town planning board for 9 years. I can deal with them. I know what's going on. Okay, everybody being paid off.
Yes.
Right? So a lot of illegal construction going on. Ministry of Works has no deal with it. Ministry of Health has no deal with it. Okay, and town planning, they are confused. I am very strong, right? When lady down in Dunderstown, I know what's going on now. The lady in Dunderstown was issued 5 business licenses and don't even have a bed that she wants to shack. This place is deteriorating. I'm to the point right now, believe me, I just leave this island and just don't get any better. I'm glad you. I can move now if I want to, but I intend to move my family eventually if the government don't crack down and then get this situation under control. I am tired. See, the people that are behaving, we sit down, right? We sit down here and we see these teams doing, but if we don't want to voice our opinion because they believe that the government can affect our family, the youth that there can affect my family. That ain't gonna work. That is not going to work. I'm telling them now. Whatever they want to do, they got to do it. Like they tell what they can get me. Not jokes. Now they want to just get up the head right now. That didn't happen, okay? And don't threaten me to do that. I invite you not to do that. But I think the government needs to crack down now. The Ministry of Works is out of control. But I don't mind. Because the guy who in charge of the Ministry of Works there for them, he can't step everybody because he was it on the PLP. So now all he's trying to do is try to grab money as much as you grab before you retire. I know coming off. Because that post he got is going to be my post. I turned it down because I'm gonna settle for no right government car and enjoy the government life. Then I can be able to get $1,000 a week. No. They can keep their job and shove it. I can take that. They keep it shove it. I'm an entrepreneur, and I can listen. I've never depended on the government. I get one contract from the government. Whether they build a high school down in whether they build the office for Patrick building, you understand? That's the first building I get from the government. I do another repairs from the government, but I did that. I did the office job down there, right? And he tried to put me to $200,000. And through the European Ingram, I get all of my money back. He called them people and tell them, you give Mr. Jones what he said to him, because you got this nigga. Skip the language. It's mine. Okay? You don't know what it means, okay? I was from 1962, 7 years old, military uniform, those are liquid for. So you got about $1 million going on after this date that I was here. Right now, I got the book now for Vince. I can't even believe you. That is going to be a bestseller. That could be in the New York Times. My boss man is writing that now. Okay? I could be a part-time engineer. Every day you kill me. If they don't kill me. Okay? But now we got the business. We're starting working. So some reason now we're working. I want to be even going on. Why? I mean, Jesus escalating on the other end of those folks. And we are not doing anything. We're just sitting out and we're scared. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Let me, believe me, we need to wake up. We need to wake up and let the government know this process is not going to escalate if they want it to escalate. It's not going to happen. Okay? And if you don't change the government, take my word. If you don't change this government, every one of us there going to punish and perish. I'm telling you, it's time for a change. Change is coming.
I just wanted to ask if you think that Trump is now in power, or when he is in power, it will he help us in any way down Trump is a fool.
I will say this. Normally, the Republicans are normally about business. And normally when they empower, the Bahamas does better than when Democrats are in power. The thing is, we have people in the COI, our supporters, some support Trump and some support Kamala. All right, and so I've not chosen to take a stance publicly on all of this because I have never seen such a polarizing election in all of my life. I've never seen people, I mean, going crazy because of an election result. I put out a statement congratulating Trump, which all of the world leaders did. Kamala also congratulated him, and so did Biden. And so some people are like, how could you congratulate this man? He's a monster. He's going to be Hitler. And I'm like, well, he's just a word. I congratulated Brave when he won. I mean, it's just congratulatory. But I can say this. Our future should not be dependent on America or any country. We have the natural resources, etc., to be self-sufficient and to be on our own. Tourism will not be our #1 industry. It will still be a major industry in the Bahamas, but it will no longer be our #1 industry in this Bahamas. We have too much potential for that. And so, Trump has his good and he has his bad. Most of his bad has to do with his personal lifestyle. It doesn't matter how there to me. But I've experienced 4 years of Trump and it wasn't that bad. All right? The economy actually was good. And so the things that I heard him say about democracy, etc., I don't know if I can stand by that. Now, in terms of personal attacks, etc., you can have a personal attack on any single human being who decides to take public office. All right? And some people have made mistakes in their life. I mean, as good as Mahatma Gandhi is, they say all kinds of stuff about him. They say negative things about him. Martin Luther King, they said negative things while he was alive. They said he was a womanizer. He was all kinds of stuff. But despite his negativity, I can go in a bus in America because of him. And a lot of things change because of him, despite the negativity. All right. So I think that what you can learn from anybody. And I think that we should take the positive that we learned from what we just experienced with Donald J. Trump. The man has perseverance. Right? You can see the good and leave the bad. All right? I learned some things from Dr. Hubert Minutes. All the bad he had, and as much as I fought him to get out of office, he also persevered when he was in opposition and they came up against him. And I learned some lessons about stickability. All right? We can take the good and leave the bad. All right? I saw a man who was shot, who was prosecuted by the government and went through a lot of things. I actually relate to a lot of the things he went through because I go through some of that stuff right here in the Bahamas. All right? I am persecuted. I'm prosecuted. I am attacked every day. They tell lies on me. And so I understand that part of it. Am I perfect? No. Are you going to find a perfect man? So Jesus is coming back, but he ain't coming back to no election. And so that's my stance on that. I think that the whole world went down over the last 4 years. I'm just being honest with you. And some of the things that happened under these outgoing guys, it was too extreme. To say that my daughter, I have a daughter in the USA who is in sports. Let me tell you something. That's a serious problem for boys going against girls in sports. All right? To say in wrestling match, the girls got to fight the boys. In a boxing match, in basketball, that was a little extreme. Putting tampons in boys' bathrooms, etc. Come on, man. How far you want us to go? And I think that's, yeah. And so, because of my stance and I believe in God, is why I took certain stance, all right? But the election is over. Despite whatever side we took, we have to live with whoever won. We still have to live. But I can assure you a government that is going to put our people in power to benefit from our natural resources so that we can move to the next level, not be dependent on any country. We are not going to be the borrower. We are going to be the lender. Let me show you something. If you want to talk? Yeah, okay. China went from being a very poor nation, and there was one thing they did. All right? I'm well studied. There's one thing that China did. They formed free trade zones all over China, even though they were communists. And in those free trade zones, they were allowed to do commerce with the world. We are in the mouth of America, and we are not benefiting with free trade zones right here. We're going to have a free trade zone in Abaco. We have a free trade zone in Freeport already. We're going to have a free trade zone, the biggest in the entire region, in Andros.
Yes.
In Morgan's Bluff, where they have a deep harbor. And so there's a vision that we're going to release to you very soon. There are things that we can do. That same China from free trade zones, that same China is now a lender to America. They lend America billions of dollars every year. They're still considered third world. And so I say this to you to say, we are not going to be the borrower, we are going to be the lender. So who the American president is won't matter to you. Let me show you how serious this is. Once we implement proper island states and city government, it's going to almost be to the point where who the president of the Bahamas is won't even matter to you. Because you run your own affairs with your own money. And you can decide what to do in the island. Isn't that powerful? All right, come on. Are we coming to you? All right, you the boss, come on. No, the internet up there.
Okay, well, I want to speak directly to you as being the leader of the coalition. I want to know when you win the government, the next election, when you become the prime minister of the Bahamas, are we going to challenge these people that want power, victimizing and using government push to enjoy and live lavish lives, travel all over the world?
You want me to answer that, or you want the Minister of National Security to answer that? That's my friend.
They gonna get you. We have a special team to come here to investigate, they go to jail. And if Lincoln get my way, I may lock up Lincoln too. Get it? You can't stop me. I believe in accountability, transparency, and good governance. That's harmony. Enough is enough. And we allow them to continue to multiply. That means we don't have to be announced deeper to it. No. We're going to set an example for this next generation. It's harmony. They must give an account. Be like in the door. Get our team. Trust him.
So, okay. So I just want you to know that research is already being done on where our money is and where it's going. I have sampled some of it in our documentaries. You can see they went in a panic. I put up their accounts in Switzerland and in England and all over the world. And so that put them in a panic. There are tax exchange laws that we passed, which means that foreign governments can get information on any of their citizens, financial information from our banks, our central bank, etc. But guess what? That goes both ways. So they are terrified of us becoming the government because we're going back after all our money. Every crooked idiot, we're going after it. All right? So what we are most concerned with is moving forward. We want to make sure that moving forward that you benefit from what belongs to you. But we can walk and chew gum at the same time. All right? We're going to make sure that proper auditing is done so it never happens again. We're going to make sure this happens. And it's not going to be like commissions of inquiry of the past where nothing came out of it, they just embarrassed them. We're going to make sure that you know where the money is and we're going to go after the people's money. The money is going to go into the sovereign wealth fund. They got $8 billion sitting on right now in Switzerland. All right, 8 billion of our money. All right, owned by a person with Bahamian passport. That ain't none of y'all. You know exactly who that is. And so they hide the money overseas. We know where it is. All right? And so they are dreading the day. Even if I go in the House as a member of Parliament, they know that I know the power of a member of Parliament. You see, these members of Parliament, you have been having, they just told the party line, they just keep their mouth shut. I know the actual power of a member of Parliament who are standing nationally and internationally in front of international bodies to cause certain things to happen. They know I know the power of a member of Parliament, and they are terrified of us being in there. All right? And so you heard Jess Cooper said they spent this $10 billion because of this video, but the opposition in every country is the Public Accounts Committee. They can call a select committee and they can question anyone. They can call the Queen. They can call the Governor General. They can call the Prime Minister. They can summons any, subpoena any document, any bank account, any email, anything. Peter can get whatever information he needs, but he ain't doing it. Just like Brave said he was gonna do this investigation on what happened with Dorian. You ain't with that yet? You ain't getting him.
My second question is, and I hear us keep talking about the jewel of the Bahamas being Abaco, but at the same time, do you know that we have all the underwater sea scientists goes to San Salvador to do their training? And why is that? Because in their school ground, they call it the University of Scientists in San Salvador, there is an ocean floor beneath the school, and all the scientists learn to dive and do their research right there. But no one in this country gets the money for that job that has been given.
Yes, all over this country, there's vast amount of wealth. You have 700 islands. That is more valuable than anything you can even imagine. I want you to understand where you're sitting. Abaco has more treasure wrecks than you can even imagine. Abaco. All right? Thousands of shipwrecks right here. Spain said they found 5,000. All right? And that's mostly between Abaco and Northern Grand Mama. All right? 5,000, each one worth over $1 billion. Y'all got that math? That's over $5 trillion right there. This is real. All right? This is real. You notice that all the things I've been saying over the years, they get the word I've been telling you. Never for the word that I've been saying. Because everything I'm saying to you is the truth. You don't have to be poor. We don't have to be. We are going to bring that change. We have everything we need. We just need you to be able to contribute.
Yes.
The reason we want you to contribute is because 39 people in the House of Assembly should not have all ideas for a country. 15 people in the cabinet should not determine what you do in your country. The ideas come from the people. Think of all of the great advances in America, in England, etc. It ain't the government that did it. All right? It's the people. And so with that, I want to say that is why we exist. The reason we want you to get your checks from your natural resources, it's not for you to go and splurge. It's for you to now come together with your family and invest. Because the ideas have to come from you. But the biggest problem in our nation, the biggest problem is that we don't have access to capital. All right? And we're going to change that through grant programs and through benefits from our natural resources. All right? And so we're going to be that change that you need. And guess who's going to control that? Y'all! That's your money. You know the people who actually have the talent. You know if this man is really a farmer or not. You all know if this man could actually make the eggs he say he can make. You all know if he can plant the neem trees he say he can plant. You know everything about everyone. So why should someone from Nassau be having a say in that?
That's right.
You are going to build your islands. You are going to make this happen. And we are going to flood you with the money to do so. We don't want power. We ain't connected to the whole system. We're not connected to their companies. We're not their partners. We want to see change. And so they want to throw you a lifeline. We want to give you the boat. I want to say this to Philip Graham, to talk about how they threw a lifeline to the main people. You don't throw a lifeline from a sinking ship. So all they're doing is throwing lifelines from a sinking ship, and we're still dying. And so I want to thank you for being here. You inspired me today. You showed that you are ready for change by being here. We have much more conversations on our vision. And we're going to get much more of you. We're going to partner with you. We're going to have conversations. My number is 803-5995. 803-599. You can quote my number. And that's my number. And so we want you to participate in this vision that we're going to present to the people. And so when we do, again, our vision for agriculture, we want to make sure that a lot of you here who know about farming, etc., that you are part of it. And so we need to know what it really takes to invest in terms of equipment, etc., etc. We should be investing in meat. We eat meat a lot, so we should be growing our own meat. We shouldn't be eating 8-year-old meat. We shouldn't. That's been in the fridge for 8 years. We need to have fresh meat. We need to reduce cancer in this country, and so we are going to do all of that. So there's a lot of work to do. I want to thank you for being here. We're going to be here today, and we're going to be here tomorrow. I got good news for you. I heard that the PRP's rally tonight got rained out. So I just hope to let you know, you know, that's the thing I want, don't read. Read afterwards, give us the blessing afterwards. But I just want to say that you now have your candidates. It's time to get to work. Support them. They are putting themselves first. They have the courage that many of us don't have. They're in a position that many of us wish we could be in. They are putting themselves forward and sacrificing themselves. I can tell you this is a major sacrifice. All right? I don't talk about my personal stuff. I don't talk about how they come after me because they ain't nothing they can do to me. Because if they could have, they would have already. All right? And so I'm not worried about them. But I want you to know that this is not an easy fight. So support your candidate in every way you can. We are going to win Abaco. The thing I like about y'all is that y'all are independent. Y'all are independent. All right? And so I'm glad that I don't have to be hands-on with Abaco. I can now focus on other islands. You want to say something? All right, Sana, go ahead.
Good night, Abaco. Most of you know me, Sheila Kelly, Martin Kelly. I am the chairperson for Central and South Africa. Looking forward to working with you guys. But I want to share something with you guys tonight. Many folks have been asking about Donald Trump, Lincoln Bay. But I want to say something to you tonight. I want you to take this in. God is sovereign. And God uses who He chooses to use.
That's right.
We as a people can't manipulate God, no matter how we do.
That's right.
And when God speaks, we need to listen.
Yes, right.
Believe you me, when God speaks, we need to listen.
Yes.
God has spoken. He said he used Donald Trump to do what he had to do in the United States.
That's right.
When I was praying for God in Nassau, and I shared this with our president, I call him the new president. He's our president. No more prime ministers, this is our president. And God said he had raised Mr. Lincoln Maynard and the coalition in this hour to take us as the Bahamian people. Now, if we go against what God is saying to us, we're done. We're done. God is our only source. He's our source. We don't look to man. And I got that word from God on my knees in Nassau after being on the line so many times after the hurricane. Not being able to go home with a meal in my hand to eat. Everybody else on the line, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody else got their trucks, cars full, going home, but I go home 2 or 3 times off that line and get 1 can of sardine or tuna. I fell on my face that day and I cried. I said, God, I am tired as a Bahamian of going out there every day and not being able to carry home a meal. I said, we have become second and third class citizens in our own country. I said, God, we need you now to step in. This is how we need you, God, to show on behalf of your people. I said, God, you got to do it for us. And He gave you a word in tongues. And He gave you the interpretation. And He said, in this hour, my daughter, He said, I am raising up my righteous governance in the earth. Not in just the house. In the earth, my righteous governance. You see, God look at the heart of man. We can only see what's on the outside. Because we can pretend. Everybody can pretend. I can only show for you. But God knows the heart. He knows the heart of this man. If you ever heard his story, he is a man who God has brought here for such a time as this. We need as the Bahamian people. I'm going to stand with this kind of side. Chosen by God. Chosen by God. Let's not forget that. So if we go against him, we go against God. And if we go against God, he's our only hope. So I want to encourage our people tonight. Let's stand with the COI and bang in this hour. Just like God gave the people in the United States of America who were crying forever under the demonic regime of the Democrats, and He's freed them. He's going to free this country too. We need to in this hour stand up for righteousness. Stand up for righteousness and live lives holy before God. Those of you who don't know God in this hour, I acknowledge you. Listen, give your life to Christ. Great times are coming. The best days are ahead of us. If we go with God, if we go against God, we're done. You have a blessed night.
Thank you so much. All right. Oh, right here? Okay.
Good night, everybody. So you may not know, I'm visiting from Nassau. I'm actually the council representative for the Coalition Youth Alliance. Representing the youth tonight. We also want to change. Not only are people tired of the back and forth, PFP and F&M always flattening us, selling us dreams. The youth are also tired. And I just would like to say that from the tender age of 16, I was ready to vote. And I already know what I was going to vote for. And now that I do have the chance to vote, my vote will be placed on that ballot for the COI. I have seen countless Bahamians taken for granted and overlooked, and I'm tired. And on behalf of the youth, I can see you're tired too, but sometimes youth don't like to come up and speak simply because they are scared. Well, I just would like to say that everybody on the Youth Alliance board of the COI is not scared to speak, and we will speak on your behalf if you allow us to.
Thank you so much. We have a powerful youth alliance, educated, talented young people, and so we're on the move. You know, as you can see, no other party in the history of the Bahamas has operated on the level that we are. We are traveling to the islands. We are doing things properly with proper conventions and rallies, et cetera, et cetera. We are operating on their level, and that is scaring them. They don't know how we're doing it. But they don't know we have a maker who is making this happen. And as long as we are on his road, there's nothing that they can do to us on that road. We are on the road to the new Bahamas. All right? And I just want you to know, and I just want lady to know, a lot of people say that naked being is fearless. I am not fearless. I fear God. Now that's the only thing I fear. But I fear God. All right? And so I want you to understand that we are going to run a government with that in mind. You have to love the people in order to love God. And that's what we're going to do. So thank you all for being here. We got refreshments. We didn't expect the 6,000 of you all to come and speak in this one room. so if we just share the food, then I don't know. They got plenty of food there. But thank you so much. Let's get to work. Let's get ready to do what we have to do to take this country back. JJ, come in. All right.
Hello, don't go. Those of you that might want a t-shirt compliment.
you.